YouTube, it's Erin, and I am the Handbag Housewife, and I'm back again with another video. Today's video is going to be a story time video, and it's sort of a stressful, odd, mixed up story. I have unboxed several Louis Vuitton straps over the course of the last few months, and here are three of them. There is one that I sent in to Louis Vuitton for repairs, and I talked to you about that. I sent in two items. The first time I sent something for repair, one was my extra long bandolier strap, and the other was my Pont 9. And when I sent those items in for repair, I had submitted pictures first, and then Louis Vuitton, the repair specialist I spoke to, she went ahead and sent me a label for each item, the Pont 9 and the strap, and I mailed those items directly to the Louis Vuitton Repair Center, and they're already working on them, so I should get my Pont 9 back much sooner, I think, than I anticipated. But, and here's the kicker, I got a dreaded phone call from Louis Vuitton regarding the strap. Now, as you all know, I authenticate most of my items. I authenticate everything that's over $1,000 if I don't get it from somewhere like Rebag or Fashion File. If I buy it from eBay, I always authenticate it again. If I buy it from Vestiaire Collective, which I'm not going to buy from them anymore, but if I were to, I would get it re-authenticated. And even with Rebag, I just recently re-authenticated the Prada camera bag, and I can link that video down below if you're interested. Lately, I've been using Authenticate First exclusively. I've also used Real Authentication in the past, as well as Legit Grills or Legit Grails, but they are currently associated with Cosette, and so I do not use that company anymore. I don't know if that's a bad thing. I don't like the scandal that's going on with Cosette on the YouTube's community, and so I'm avoiding Legit Grails because of that. So when I got the strap, I compared the canvas, I felt the leather on the back side of it, I compared the hardware, I looked at everything in relation to my canvas pieces from Louis Vuitton. I've got a push-up Matisse strap I could compare it to. I looked at it compared to my web straps. I looked at it compared to my leather straps. The hardware looked really good to me. It also had a date code and a Made in Italy stamp, and the date code started with PL, which means that it was made in Italy, so that matched up. The numbers on the date code made sense. So everything looked right and it felt right. And I got it from a seller who had no negative feedback. So I was sure that I was okay. And then I sent it to Louis Vuitton and they told me it was not real. So I'm telling you, you can think 100% that something's real, but you really, for peace of mind, it is worth paying the 20 bucks to get it authenticated, because I really, after that, I felt like I needed to authenticate everything I had. And I have authenticated bigger ticket items regularly, but I just wanted for peace of mind to know that I was not supporting the sale of counterfeits. So when I buy some of these straps, I find them on Facebook, and I'm part of many different groups where resellers and individuals sell Louis Vuitton and other designer items. And so what I generally do is, if I find an item I want to buy, I've got a little visitor back here. Oh, he's gone. Oh, wait, no, she's still here though, but you can't see her. Anyhow, I find an item I want to buy, and then I search the person who's selling its name within my groups on Facebook. And so then I can see if they've sold other items. I can see if anything pops up, like this person's a scammer or something like that. And if all of that is good and they have some history, or at least somebody who can speak up for them as a reference, usually more than just one somebody, but if all that lines up, then I might go ahead and purchase it. But I generally will purchase it goods and services, because I don't know anything about this individual that I'm buying from other than the information I can glean from Facebook. And if it were an eBay seller, I would look at their reviews. I would look at what people said if they weren't happy. And so that's kind of how I decide who to buy from. When I get these items, if they're over $1,000, I will get them authenticated. If they're under, and this is where I've run into trouble that I'm telling you this story about, if they're under $1,000, like these straps, what I do is I take straps that are in my current collection that I got directly from Louis Vuitton, and I compare them point by point. And in the past, what I've done is I'll look at the font as well as just the construction, like the way they put the little pieces together. And one thing that Authenticate first wanted to see was this little round bit right there. And then also the other thing they wanted to look at was, and this was a big thing they really wanted pictures of, was where that hinge hole is, where you can see the mechanism of how the clip opens and closes. They weren't quite as concerned with the weave, the words, and all that, but they really focused most all of their attention on this part as what they use to authenticate. So all this is leading up to me telling you, I sent my extra long bandolier strap in for repair. You know this. I had scratched 2 screws and I just wanted those 2 screws replaced. They estimated that it would be free to repair it, and then I got the phone call that it was not a product from Louis Vuitton. And that's what they kind of worded it like. They said, "We regret to inform you we cannot work on your piece because this is not an item that is made by Louis Vuitton." That might not be word for word, but it's really close. And they asked me for my address so they could return it to me. So now I have this item that I bought from eBay from a Japanese seller. Japanese sellers are supposed to be safe, right? I had read their reviews. They were reviewed very well. I never saw an item where somebody said in the reviews that it was counterfeit or anything like that. And so I'm freaking out at this point. I got a really good deal on the strap, so that's kind of one saving grace. I paid $416.70 for it, and I think the strap normally would retail for around $700. It is not for sale anymore. It's a piece that's been discontinued. And so what I did is I reached out to the seller, because when you do file a dispute with PayPal or your credit card, you have to show that you've reached out to the seller. I reached out to eBay. eBay told me that I was past their 30-day window. They won't do anything for you if you find out that there's a counterfeit item you've purchased after 30 days. So if you're going to get these items authenticated, you need to do it in the first 30 days. And this is a big lesson for me. And then I filed a dispute with PayPal. Because of the nature of the item being counterfeit, I just felt comfortable doing that before I even heard back from the seller. That was kind of a mistake, because when I spoke with eBay, they told me that I should reach out to the seller because I was only 2 days past their return window. And I did reach out to the seller so that I could file the dispute, but I didn't give him a chance to reply back. And I filed the dispute with PayPal. And then the seller the next day wrote me back and said that they would be happy to accept the return, that I just needed to go through eBay to initiate that. And because I had filed the dispute with PayPal, I can't do that. I cannot go in and initiate a return. Everything has to go through PayPal now. So I let the seller know that, and they've sent me a DHL label with all of the paperwork to send this item back. I have not sent it back because Louis Vuitton has not gotten it back to me yet. It's in transit. And so once that item gets back to me, then I need to figure out if I'm going to ship it with the seller's label back to them, or if I need to go through PayPal to figure this out, because I understand that whenever it comes to counterfeit merchandise, there may be some laws regarding the legality of actually shipping those items. So either when I receive the item back from Louis Vuitton or just sometime before then, I need to talk to PayPal and make sure that it is legal and I'm approved to go ahead and use the label that the seller provided me. With my past experience regarding things like this, I've just needed to show evidence that I've returned the item to PayPal and kind of keep them in the loop throughout the whole thing. But it hasn't ever involved a counterfeit product. And if you mail a counterfeit product for the purposes of sale through the postal service, which this is through DHL, but really through any service, UPS, FedEx, probably DHL, then that can be considered a federal offense. Now, I'm not trying to sell this item, but I need to double check and make sure that I don't get myself into legal trouble shipping this item back to Japan. So that's up in the air. If anybody has experience with this and knows if it's okay, please let me know. I'm super curious. I believe that I'm going to get my money back with 100% certainty, either through PayPal without shipping the item back, or through PayPal with shipping the item back, or it might even be that I am not allowed to ship the item back, but I do get my money back anyway. So one of those three things is going to happen. And if it doesn't with PayPal, I can still fall back on my credit card because I used a credit card to pay for this item, and they will help me in this situation. I don't think that's going to be necessary because the seller wrote back a very kind note telling me that the sale of counterfeits, of course, is highly regulated in their country, that they would not knowingly sell a counterfeit, and they are eager to rectify the situation. So I don't feel an adversarial relationship. It's just going to be a matter of time until the situation gets resolved. So I'll keep you updated, but if anybody knows about mailing an item that you know to be counterfeit as a return back to a seller, if that's okay or not, please let me know, because I don't know and I want to make sure I'm safe. And when I Google, I get all kinds of convoluted information from random people that may not be 100% accurate. I'm just saying that this situation shocked me, and you are never 100% safe. And since it happened, I have gotten every strap and every small leather good authenticated, except for my Felici inserts, because I know where those came from, just for the peace of mind. And Authenticate First has been great and easy to work with. So if you need somebody to do that for you, I will link them down in the description box. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for? Do it and ring the notification bell so that you are notified of future exciting content such as this. Also, go find me on Instagram. The name there is the same. It's the @symbol, then the Handbag Housewife, all lowercase. You can DM me there, or you can email me at thehandbaghousewife@gmail.com. If I don't hear from you, I will see you again real soon. Take care and have a fabulous day. Bye.